Today, I would like to show you Jira Service Management. I hope that even if you are familiar with this product, you will find something useful for your projects, for your teams. I will tell you about the service management, pure product without apps. This is the basic training. In Jira Service Management, we have to start from one of the most important things. In comparison with other Atlassian products like Jira Software or Jira Work Management, we have two different sides. One is the side from issue from Jira, which is available for Jira administrators, product administrators, service agents. And we have the second side, which is available for customer. And this is why during my presentation, I will switch between two windows. Blue window represents the account from Jira in which I am logged as an administrator, also a service agent. And in case of green window, I am logged here as a customer because I would like to show you what customer sees and what benefits this customer can have from using Jira Service Management. Let's start creating the first project. Go to Projects, Create Project. So here we have got option, select which type of project I would like to create. And I will start from IT Service Management, the basic thing. Okay, I will use this template. And we'll have a name, for example, March AC. And here we have got option to select what team type we represent. In our case, it's a customer service. I selected IT service management and project type company managed. If you are familiar with Jira, probably you know what is company managed and team managed. If you are a beginner, I will tell you quickly the difference. In company managed, as the name suggests, these projects are configured by global administrator, and we have got shared permissions, schemes, workflows, and any change can impact all your projects or configurations. In case of team managed projects, this configuration is only applied to the current project which I use. So it's useful if you have got smaller organization or if you don't have some standardization which have to be the same across the whole company. Detailed documentation, some comparison, you can find it in Atlassian documentations. We will use company managed. Okay, I'm creating the project and we will be moved to our first service project. It's worth to say that we have got in Atlassian ecosystem three types of projects. So we have got service project if we use Jira Service Management. We have business projects when we use Jira Work Management and software projects when we use Jira Software. In our case, today we are talking about Jira Service Management, so we have got service project. And in case of service project, now I have the main view called queues. Queues are useful for service agents who take care about customers. And here I will see all requests which will created by customer. Also, we have in our left navigation a board, which is something relatively new in service projects. Here we can see columns with our tasks, and every columns represent the statuses of the issue. We have categories like service requests, incidents, problems, changes, and post-incident reviews. Also represents queues for our issues. What is worth to say that we have got here area for knowledge base and reports. Knowledge base is the area where you can create articles. Thanks to this connection with another Atlassian product, Confluence, you can create articles which can help your customers to solve their problems. So very often when you have similar questions, it's a best practice to create such FAQ article. And thanks to this, your customers can find the correct answer without creating a ticket because it's available in the article. And the last area here we have channels which represents different places from which customer can create requests. We have some options. The first option, which is the most popular when you create service project, is customer portal. And here we can easily switch to the customer portal, the help center, which collects all customer portals. Here I am a customer. This is what I see on the help center. I have already created the project. This is my customer portal, merge ACE. When I am administrator or any user in Jira, I need a license. My organization has to pay for access to these products. In case of customers, you don't pay for them. It's important to highlight that you can have a lot of customers, which creates a ticket on your customer portal. If they don't have access to Jira, you don't pay for them. This is a huge difference between customer and user, that in case of customer, they don't have license, they don't have access to Jira, they don't see your internal issues, they have access only to this area and this green window. Here we have a help center. You can find all customer portals to which this customer has access. Every portal represents service project in my Jira Service Management. I will go to Merge ACA because this is the project I created. Here you can see a list of some portal groups which collects the objects called request type. Request type represent the request form which customer has to fill to create the request. When clicking on common requests, you can see 5 request types: get IT help, request a new account, etc. When I'm clicking on the request type, I have a request form. In the request form, I have a set of fields. So we have summary, description, and attachment. With this red asterisk, we see this field is required. You can switch between different portal groups. So I can switch to computers, for example, logins and accounts, etc. Everything depends on the use case. Let's start with get IT help. This I will put here my first request and some information. I'm clicking send, and now the first ticket in this project has been created. This is the request the customer sees: the summary, description, and information collected. I have the status of my ticket, options like escalate, resolve, and cancel requests. All these things are configurable by administrator. I have information about request type and who created this request. And in case of requests on service desk, we have not only reporter, so someone who created the request, but also we have got option to share our request with others using request participants. This is a special field in Jira Service Management, and thanks to this, more people can access this ticket. By default, when I create ticket, like in this situation, this ticket is available only to creator. So only I see this ticket from customer portal. In Jira, when I'm on this screen, I go to queue. I should see this task. Yeah, this is my first request. As an agent, I see this request. On this screen, natively, you as a customer don't have a lot of options to do. Only you can add a comment, and adding comment is the place where we can communicate with agents. For example, someone from the company, because I don't have any information about this ticket, I can put additional information if I forgot something when I created this ticket. Also, I can put attachments, images, and something like this. This is what I can do as a customer on the portal. In case of the portal, I have some additional screen, which is called requests. Here we have got access from this drop-down. When I'm clicking, for example, created by me, I can see the table with all requests created by me. We have filters, so we can open requests, but I can also select closed requests. and select which request I would like to see. We have this option where I am a participant, useful in the situation when I don't create a ticket, but some ticket is shared with me. For example, I am a leader and someone from my team is creating the ticket because need access to some software or new hardware, and this person wants to share this ticket with me as a leader, so we can use this request participant field. In this case, I am a participant, not a creator. Okay, so this is what we have now as a customer. Columns are configurable, but very limited. Here we have got option manage columns, and we can select which columns would you like to present. But the list of these columns is limited and is configured by administrator. And we will come back to this screen also from the administrator side. Okay, let's come back to our first request and see what the service agent, so the second side, see on this request. Here I have a queue. This queue is named all open tickets, and in case of queues, this is specific feature for service projects, and these queues are configurable, of course, and you can define which issues to see here. And under these three dots, I have option to edit queue, and thanks to this, I can present what is included in this queue. We can define which projects or statuses request to list here. Also, you can select order by time to resolution. We can select columns which will present here. This is configurable using jQuery. jQuery is Jira query language. With this syntax, you can create more advanced syntax to find issues. Here, I would like to present issues created in the current project and unresolved. I can switch to jQuery to filter the list of requests. I can have different teams which are responsible for different part of my software or part of my products, and I can create dedicated queue for every team which are responsible for different products. It's more advanced. We can use filters to limit the list of requests. In case of service project, very important part is this special field called time to resolution, unique for service project, service level agreements. And I will show you it's possible to configure it in your project settings. When you are an administrator, you have access to this area, to administration. Here we have a configuration for SLAs. You can configure service level agreements. This is very important field. And you can use this field to order your queues. Here we have examples like time to resolution, time to first response. We have option to define based on ticket category and priority. We can define different time target. And this is very specific for service projects. This feature is not available in business or software projects. If you go to the issue as service agent, we have a separate panel called SLAs, and here we have got this SLA clocks, so you can see time to first response and time to resolution. This service agent view is full with a lot of information which are not available for customer, because this view represents the same request as you can see here as a customer. In the case of service agent, we have got SLAs, a dedicated panel for details, and configurable fields are not visible for customers. For example, this priority medium, it's not visible because it's not added to the request form. You can extend this panel where we have more fields, and here fields not available for your customer. What fields are available for your customer is configurable under project settings. In project settings, we have got option to configure request types. And to select Get IT Help, we have got list of all request types which are used in this project, but we select Get IT Help. Here you see different views. Request form, which you saw on this customer view. We have issue view. This is what you saw as a service agent. And here we have got option to configure which fields are available for whom. So request form is available for your customer. Here we have summary, description, attachment. Using drag and drop, you can move them to this main part. Thanks to this, you have a new field on the request form for your customer to fill during the request creation process. In case of issue view, we have got also option to add different fields, the same way, drag and drop them to this main part. Here we have a list of fields not available for your customer. Unique for company managed projects, we have workflow statuses. The list of statuses in which the request is step by step, waiting for support, waiting for customer, etc. We have options to configure it in Jira, and you can make complicated workflows if you need for your processes. Here you can define that some statuses can have different name for your customer. So here we have got statuses available in Jira, visible on Jira issue for your service agent. You can change the name for your customer, and this is presented here. You can have, for example, in your workflow, a lot of internal statuses, but you can use the same name for 3 statuses, important for your internal processes, but for your customer, it's the same statuses. This is how this configuration looks. In case of request types, we can create as many request types as we need. We don't have limitations. In our configuration, under project settings, we have option to create request type, and we can select between create blank, we can start from scratch, but we have also a new option, create from template. And thanks to this, we can find some request type which can be a great start for us to configure it, which can be helpful. And thanks to this, we don't have a blank, we have some fields on the request form. For HR, I would select employee onboarding. I don't have to click it from the scratch and creating the whole form because I have some template which is provided by Atlassian. This is a new feature. In request types, we can change the name, description, and icon. In configuration, we go to the customer portal from the administrator view. This is what I see as an administrator. When I go to the training center, this is my help center, I have customize. This button is not available for customers. This is a huge difference. This is the customer, no button. Here I am administrator, I have this button. And when I click on customize, I have options to modify my help center or customer portal. I can add a login message. I can add some announcement for customers, for example, that we have got some incident, we know about it, we are working to fix it. You can put such announcement here. So we can add some example. So this is example announcement. Here we have got test. I save changes. We have an announcement banner with simple information available for everyone who has access to this help center. We have options to change the visual appearance of our customer portal. It's rather limited, so if you need more customization, it's necessary to use plugins to organize customer portals, to change a lot of colors and to create something beautiful and fits to your company brands. But natively, we have got some basic things. So we can change the help center name and breadcrumbs. This is the breadcrumbs and what I have here. We have homepage title. Unfortunately, the text in this searcher is not changeable. Here we have got option to add logo, which will be presented here. I can change the banner and colors. In this case, I have blue. So it's limited. I know a lot of companies need more. You have to use add-ons, unfortunately. And the last thing is that edit home page layout, also rather new feature. And when I'm clicking on it, you can see I can create topics. So I will create some example. So test topic. And I will select here some knowledge base articles, for example, IT help. When I publish this layout, you can see that I am a customer and I have a new area called topics. And thanks to this, you can create some bundle of links to request forms, to some knowledge base articles. And it's very helpful if you have a lot of customer portals, a lot of request forms. You can, for example, create topics which includes the most popular request forms, or you can create topics which collects all the most important articles about onboarding in your company. You can create many topics and bundle links to request forms from different portals to some knowledge base articles, and thanks to this, it's easy access to your customers to this content. Of course, these options are still available from every portal. And the last thing which we have here, possibility to feature a portal. So when I'm clicking on the star, I can feature some portals. If you have a lot of portals, it's very useful for your customers if you highlight the most important, the most common, the most popular portals. So this is what we have as an administrator. Also, in case of request screen, I have one more thing to customize. I can define which fields are available for customers to select as a column on the request screen. This list is limited, as you can see. So we have got only fields which you see here. In case of more advanced needs, if you want more columns with some custom fields, you need add-on for this one. And this is what we have in case of configuration for administrator for customer portal. Coming back to service project, it's also important to say about other options, how customers can create tickets. This path that I am going to the help center, I select customer portal, I select request form. This is basic and very useful. We have different options to create tickets. And the second thing is using a widget. It's something you can put on your website, and thanks to this, your customer can create tickets from widget. And I can show you how it works. In our marketplace, on our listing, you can find something like Contact Us. And this is exactly this widget which we created on our customer portal. And when I click on that, I have option to create subject, put some information, attach files, and also leave contact email. And these are configurable in Jira Service Management. We have here, you can see that we have option to define this widget header, information message, colors. You can embed this widget on your website. This is the second way a customer can create a ticket. Also, customer can send you an email. And here we have email requests. This is the separate configuration. When you create a service project, default email account is created and always is the project key and name of your instance. And this is the default. But you can connect a custom email account. And when someone sends email to this account, the new request is created on your service desk. We have a dedicated email for support and a connection to our customer portal. So someone can send us an email and new ticket is created on our customer portal. So this is another option how we can create issues, requests. And also we have got one more option. So very often when you are working on call center and you have got requests from your customers as a service agent, create requests directly from Jira, from issue view. Here we have got a create option. I can select request type, for example, get IT help. I can create requests from this view as an agent. I have also this option. For more advanced users, we have also option to use REST API to create requests. Reports is very important area for every support leader. Here you have got some reports in case of workload, some satisfaction, because when you close the ticket, you can send a satisfaction survey to your customer. It's very limited, only comment and select number of stars, but it's feedback for your service agents. And here you have a dedicated report. We have a set of predefined custom reports, for example, service requests, in which you can see which request types are the most popular in this service project. You can create reports and present important information for your team in Jira Service Management. And I think this is it for today, because we don't have a lot of time to talk about more advanced things. I think that when you start, this is good to start from creating the first project and explore everything on your own. I would like to encourage you to check university, Atlassian University, in which you can find a free learning path about service management fundamentals. There you can find more information, almost 3 hours. It's totally free. Check before you create your first project and start exploring these features. I would like to recommend you a live learning session. This is a nice initiative where you can learn a lot more about this service agent side. So we will explore how to handle ticket, how to add comments, insert responses, create some templates. I am a chief product officer and co-founder at Appsvio, an Atlassian marketplace partner. I guess that you know Atlassian Marketplace, which you can find a lot of apps which are extensions to Atlassian products, Jira Software, Jira Service Management. And at Appsvio, we are focusing on ITSM, and this is our main goal: make customer support easier, better for teams, but also for your customers. So this is why we have got mainly apps for ITSM area, which one of the most known is Feature Bundle. But we have got also some other apps which can be useful for projects, agents, and internal teams. I will share links to my YouTube. You can find recordings from previous sessions about Jira Service Management, and of course to the Atlassian University. We recommend not only about Jira Service Management, but every product and every processes, because it's helpful. Also, when you would like to pass some certification, you can find a lot of resources.